scientists and students of natural history in all parts of the world, the continent of Australia is a vast wonderland of colourful and unique birds and animals.
Right hand green.
When you're playing Twister, you gotta remember 3 golden rules. 1, watch out for baboons. You can never tell which end is which. Whoa!
Left hand red.
2, give.
Are confirmed dead in yesterday's car bomb attack, including...
Reel fishing hooks everything from bottom feeders to man munchers. The only rod and reel with
sifting through the tons of rubble looking for victims of the World Trade.
New York then bursts into flames. There are at least
What are you willing to do to bring back the one you love? Would you fight, kill, staple corpses of a squirrel to her dead body in hopes of pleasing a god that you don't even know exists? And what if you're the reason that she's gone to begin with? This is the story of the Squirrel Stapler. We came here to get away from it all. Our love might blossom. No, our love is not blossoming. In 5 days, God is coming. We need to prepare. We need to hunt. It's time we hunt the squirrels. Look at my beloved. The flies have made her ugly and rotten. I wish she were beautiful, like the squirrels of the woods. And so I will cover her and the squirrels. Inside this cabin is a room not like the others. There's a pentagram of sorts, blood, and a note in the middle.
Book of the Grove, Chapter 4, Verse 1. Saith the goat of wood, thou shalt not stable squirrels.
This only gets weirder. On our first day, we're told we can run. Stand, crouch, but be careful. We're loud, and we need to stay low. Creep quietly. Use the patches of grass to hide. Use our ears. Hear the squirrels chattering. Move before we see them. Use our rifle with the scope. Find the squirrels. Bag them. Our first tip. Use the map to orient ourselves. We're going to come back for another tip tomorrow. Our memories are hazy. I don't know how we got here, or how whatever happened to our wife. Outside there's poisonous grass. It says do not eat. Did we leave this here? Did someone before us? It looks like a squirrel already found it. It's doing our job for us, giving us a head start. We don't know why we're here. We just know we need to hunt. And that God is coming soon. Who made these notes? Despite these thoughts, we press on. Along our journey, we come across a shack. A note tells us, every day you can commit sin. It's at the shady shack. Why not? We have no idea what we're doing. We stumble upon a stone structure deep in the woods far away. Around back, there's a note.
Report 1. Nothing of note to report. Some marginal abnormalities in readings that went away once I recalibrated. Some odd noises during the night, probably squirrels. Overall, everything is pretty quiet. Come back tomorrow. Another report.
Reading it details of a report. Someone else, maybe, has been here before. Could be us, we don't know. There's just not enough information.
Squirrel fact. Squirrels have 4 sharp toes on their front feet for climbing, and 5 toes on their back feet.
I come across these rocks jetting out of the ground, somewhat like Stonehenge or a giant's hands. There's a strange aura inside of it, and a can. Let's go for it. Perhaps that was a trap. Either way, we're not going to go in there again. Probably. I find a squirrel blind. It's overlooking the stones and gives us a good view of the area. Again, I don't know who's building these structures or why.
Squirrel fact. Squirrels can survive a fall of as much as 30 feet and can jump up to 20 feet.
We find another stone structure at the top of a hill. Large steel beams jet into the sky. Maybe an antenna or a radar or some sort. Inside, we find another note. It reads, The Lady, Part 1. Once there was a lonely artist who lived by himself in the woods. Desiring to ease his loneliness, he saved his meager earnings and purchased a fine paintbrush, crafted from the hair of a beautiful woman. The artist loved his paintbrush so much that he used it to paint the woman who had given her hair for its creation, as he imagined she must look. He was informed that, due to a terrible mix-up, the hair had actually come from a wild boar. Return tomorrow for part 2. We complete the hunt, satisfy our carnal cravings, and return to the shed where we woke up. Inside, we find the reality. Our wife's corpse, or what's left of it, red, bloodied, smeared across the wall of our cabin next to our bed. This is what's left. But perhaps we're going to put her back together. Perhaps these woods, the squirrels, God will make her whole again. We begin day 2 looking at our wife and then walking the house. Let's see what's changed.
Book of the Grove, chapter 4, verse 2. For the bushy tail is righteous in all mother's sight, and a chattering voice is divine. Should that which is divine be adhered to that which is not divine? By no means.
I don't know why I went southern there. Just felt right. Anyways, let's continue. Day 2. What does God have in store for us today? And what exactly is Big Squirrel? So the big new feature on day 2. Whistle. Attract the big ones. Let's see if we can go find one. Squirrel fact. Although squirrels mostly eat nuts, seeds, and fruit, they have been known to eat insects, bird eggs, and even animal carcasses. Is that last one even true? Okay, fair enough. We just keep hunting and searching. More squirrels, more notes, more information, hopefully to find out why we're here.
Squirrel fact. A male squirrel can smell a female in heat from up to a mile away.
Lovely. Wait, what is that? What the hell was that? Hopefully not a male squirrel in heat. The woods are becoming more alive. We don't know what to expect. Where is Big Squirrel? The building from yesterday we find in the woods again. There's going to be a note here, something that tells us a little bit more about what's going on. We hope.
Report 2. Small abnormal readings still occurring with odd regularity. Recalibrating always fixes them, but they always come back the next day. I also keep finding dead squirrels outside the door. Looks like maybe an animal is leaving them, but I'm noting it per my instructions. Come back tomorrow for another report.
Today's new challenge was to capture a large squirrel. We're very close. We've been tracking it through the woods, reading notes, uncovering its habitat. We mimic its mating call, and now it appears we've found it. It's nearby. Bingo. Yeah, I'd say that was a large squirrel. Alright, let's finish this hunt. And then there's a few places we should look in the woods. Once we're finished committing sins and looking at the camp on the top of the mountain, we'll head back to the shack. See our beloved once again. You wouldn't get it. It's important for the plot. These notes we've been finding, they build on top of each other. Each day we go further and we see more of the story. We just need to survive. The Lady, Part 2. The artist was inconsolable and spent his days weeping and taking his portrait on long walks in the rain. On one of these walks, he encountered an old woman who said, "Ah, young man, I can see the reason for your despair. Come with me." For a few pennies, she said, his treasured painting could be brought to life. The artist was overjoyed, and the spell was cast. Only then did he remember that he had only painted the woman from the waist up. Return tomorrow for Part 3. Jesus, do we even want to?
Squirrel fact. In 2007, 14 squirrels were arrested in Iran.
Okay, there's no way that's true. I'm at a loss of words. With a bag full of squirrel, it's time to stable, see what's in store for us tomorrow. There's something here?
I don't want squirrels, I want skin. Give me back my skin, or give me yours instead.
I'm sure she doesn't mean that. Let's go back to bed. See what's in store for us tomorrow. Ask yourself what type of man would do something like this. This is who we are. The woods may just be punishment.
Book of the Grove, chapter 4, verse 3. Rather, like the righteous squirrel, the wise man stores his nuts for the proper time, but the faithless man has no nuts to store.
Something was at our house last night. We go looking for tracks, find some sort of source of the commotion. Our tip of the day alludes to something more intense. Be careful, large predators. We might not be the only predator in this forest. I don't think those are squirrels. Let's recap. We woke up in a shed with the skinned, decapitated corpse of our wife. We think that if we staple squirrel corpses to her corpse, we'll please some sort of god who's coming in just a few days to bring her back. There may have been other people in these woods with us, but not anymore. It's just us as far as we're aware. Us, squirrels, and some sort of beast. This is not Cabela's hunting game, no.
Squirrel fact. Squirrels have urine release valves under their eyes and urinate on each other's faces to communicate.
I'm not Googling that one. Okay, I lied. I looked it up. They don't. Thank God. It's not real. Aside from the fear of the beast in the woods, we've gotten good at what we do. We go out, we hunt, and we're going to check notes and see what else we can learn about these woods on day 3.
Squirrel fact.
Squirrels break down their food with a structure called gastric mill, which is located in their stomach.
That one actually is legit.
Report 3. There's something in these woods here that we didn't expect. I keep finding tracks, and I hear it in the night, moving through the foliage. It's scratching on the concrete. And in the morning, there are squirrels outside the door, with their limbs all pulled off and their head twisted around, dozens of them, requesting a call for instruction on how to proceed. Come back tomorrow for another report.
This is not the walk in the park that day 1, and to an extent, day 2 was. Things are getting interesting. We've gotten good. Let's go take this fast. Let's try to get these squirrels quickly. They hunt in packs. We're gonna have to try again. This time, remember, it's better to stay hidden than engage. I try to lure them in. They're supposed to be attracted to the mating call, whatever these beasts are. And I get my revenge. At least I thought I do. Remember, hunting in packs. And I'm all out of bullets. Let's get out of here. And there's our revenge. We get the squirrels pretty quick. We've gotten good at hunting. Now we just have to make a quick stop and then we'll be back. The Lady, Part 3. The newly created half-woman screamed and wailed, clawing her way in circles around the room as blood poured out of the bottom of her torso, and entrails flopped around in tangles. The artist sobbed and looked to the old woman who was examining the pennies he'd given her, unfazed. She caught his gaze, shrugged, and said, "I reserve a special spell for these circumstances." She pointed to the axe mounted on the wall. Return tomorrow for Part 4. A man in love with a woman who accidentally gets his love injured or hurt in some way. Sounds familiar. I'm getting the impression that these stories we're reading are becoming more and more related to who we are. Something different. Your wife's corpse is sitting at the dining table as if she was just eating dinner. You staple more corpses to her. She's motionless, just red, bloodied, skinned. Just sitting there for dinner. We take one last look at the spot where our wife's corpse once hanged. But I don't know about you, but I'm tired. And we've got 2 more days until God arrives. Another day, another note.
Book of the Grove, chapter 4, verse 4. In this way the squirrel is good, and the lobster is bad. Wherefore squirrels may die, so that squirrels may live. just as lobsters live, so that lobsters may die.
What? Day 4 hunt. Let's see what madness this forest has in store for us today. Every day the forest gets a little bit more dangerous. Oh, squirrel fact. Let's see what we have today. Squirrel fact.
Squirrels are always
watching. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, day 4 feels like targeted harassment. So we have bear squirrels, ghost squirrels. I mean, what else could there possibly be? Squirrel fact. Squirrels' claws are sharp enough to tear out our eyeballs. It's day 4 and we've hit a good rhythm. Hunt squirrels, commit sins in the shed, read notes, and then head on back to our lovely wife.
Report 4. It's in the walls now. In the concrete looking for my brain. I can't find it because my brain is inside my skull, but it will. It will peel away skin and bone to get inside. When my brain is taken, I will come for you. I will break you open. I will take yours instead. I'm in the shadows now. I am seeing you cower. You are already stretched apart into pieces. Your head is already twisted off the spine. Come back tomorrow for another report.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. We continue our run up the mountain to the artist.
The Lady, Part 4. The artist lifted the axe, tears streaming down his face. The half-woman continued to scream and claw. He brought the axe down. Her left arm rolled across the floor, and still she screamed and writhed. He brought it down again, separating the skull into 2 parts. And somehow she still screamed. Again the axe came down. And again. And again. And again. Until she screamed no more. Return tomorrow for part 5.
Squirrel fact. Squirrels can debone a human male in under 3 hours. Huh. Is there any possibility of a happy ending here? Doubt it.
Squirrel fact. Squirrels are always watching.
With that lovely note, we run back home. Tomorrow will be the day of God's coming. Listen closely. Whether intentional or not, it's brilliant that walking through that long hallway to our bedroom, we can hear the flies circling around our wife's corpse. We have to think about it every time we come back to our bedroom. Day 5. There's an eerie stillness to this final day. We know what we have to do. We know that something is coming. We don't quite know what it is. Let's explore.
Report 5. Please disregard previous reports. Everything is quiet.
The Artist, Part 5. The artist's ears rang as he turned to the old woman and said, "What is this unspeakable horror that you have brought to me? How can I ever escape what has been done here? What penny spell can you cast to conjure good from this?" And the old woman examined the bloody mess and said, "Well, young man, this will make a mighty fine stew." And so they made a stew from the remains. But it was poison, and they both died. Art will eventually destroy the artist. The end. Oh, what a lovely story. You'll have to forgive me, but as we were reading our last story, I picked up the last squirrel. What that means now is that God is coming. There's a time limit. We have a minute and a half. And we don't know what this means or where he's coming from or what it is, but nevertheless, the timer ticks. I think about maybe running back home. Squirrel fact: there are more squirrels than you have bullets, and you have made her very, very angry. Nothing can be found in our shed except for a note, an ominous one. I must meet God. So we wait.
I want you to hear this moment in its entirety. Feel what I felt as we go through this section together. And with that final moment, we win. I don't know what we won. Madness, psychosis, that final image, that music, everything was so intense, so well put together. David should be proud of the game he made. David Szymanski is a self-professed video game worker. He says he makes games because he makes them for a living. But there is an art here. It's not just about money. There's experimental ingenuity. If you're a fan of the experimental horror genre, if you want to see more experiences that put you in situations maybe uncomfortable, but nevertheless unexpected, please give David Szymanski's games another shot. Go deeper into his backlog. There's some really interesting stuff there. And he's recently come out with a new game, The Pony Factory. Check out The Pony Factory. I'll be doing the same myself very soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.